Thank you all for joining this discussion today on Smart Claims Assignment, the Amica story. In today's session, we will discuss how Amica is using Guidewire Predictive Analytics to more quickly and easily utilize their predictive model within ClaimCenter to assign the right claim to the right personnel at the right time. Joining me today are Amanda, Karen, and Ray from Amica Mutual Insurance. Thank you all for being here. Let me start with you, Amanda. Do you mind introducing yourself as well as giving us a little bit of background on your company?
My name is Amanda Harklerode, a Claims Shared Services Manager with Amica Insurance. We are a mutual company that offer personal multi-line products and really pride ourselves in providing world-class customer service. I oversee countrywide casualty and property claims. A bit more about Amica. We were established in 1907. We're actually the oldest mutual auto insurer, and we are headquartered in Lincoln, Rhode Island.
Thanks, Amanda. As a claim manager at Amica, can you talk a little bit about the common struggles that you and your team face with claims processing, specifically around the initial assignment of property claims? What was working well and, frankly, what wasn't?
An important part of providing the excellent service that we are known for is ensuring that each claim is assigned efficiently and to the right handler from the start. We have several different levels or teams of file handlers. We have desk-paid handlers that adjust claims that are more minor and don't necessarily require that field inspection. We, of course, have field adjusters that do inspect the insured properties for more moderate to severe damages, and we even have a group of designated large loss adjusters. So prior to the claims desktop model deployment in ClaimCenter, the assignment process really involved my team individually reviewing each claim as they came in before assigning to a handler, which is obviously a very significant time commitment for us in a normal workday, let alone when we're in what we call a catastrophe situation, which is when a tornado or a wildfire, some other catastrophic event causes a huge influx of claim volume. We recognize the restrictions this manual review process had for us, so we collaborated with our data solutions and IT teams to see if we could come up with a solution or some tool to try to help us.
Thanks, Amanda. Let me come over to you now, Ray. Based on these problems the claims personnel were facing, how did you and your team go about solving the problem? Where did you start?
Well, first we determined if there was an opportunity to solve the problem through predictive modeling. Once we decided there was, we partnered with our claims executive department to collect the data necessary to train the model. As with most models, we find that unstructured data is very important, so we use natural language processing to incorporate adjuster notes.
Can you please talk about this predictive model that was developed? What the target of the model was, the source of the data that the model learned from, what technology that was used?
Yes, Yao Xiao, one of the data scientists on our enterprise team, used Python to develop a multi-stage physical damage model using the available homeowner data in ClaimCenter. She worked with our Claims Shared Services team to confirm the model accurately predicted our target, homeowner claims that should be adjudicated through desktop review.
And can you describe how you and your team tested the model?
Yao tested the model using multiple metrics, including accuracy, F1 score, and recall. Then she presented the results, and the claims executives were pleased. They asked us to move forward with operationalizing the model in ClaimCenter.
Sounds like you have a great handle on predictive modeling. What made you look for potential tools? What were some key capabilities you were looking for?
It's great having a working model, but it doesn't provide any business value if it's sitting on a data scientist's PC. We needed a way to quickly deploy the model and start using the results. We looked at Guidewire Predictive Analytics, its ability to deploy a model in the cloud and be called from any application, as well as the ClaimCenter framework to quickly get the model results in the hands of our users. We chose Guidewire PA for these reasons, and within a few months, we had our first model deployed in ClaimCenter.
And once the model was ready, can you please talk about how the model was imported in Guidewire Predictive Analytics and deployed to the cloud?
Once we had a Python model, we converted it to PMML so we could upload it to Guidewire Predictive Analytics. We ran into a problem. The package that we used for natural language processing did not work in PMML. This would have been a roadblock for us, so we discussed this with the Guidewire team. To our surprise, they reached out to the creator of the Python package. He agreed, and worked with Guidewire to fix the problem. We really value our partnership with Guidewire, and this shows why. We were then able to create an endpoint in the PA tool and turn it over to Guidewire and our IT department to operationalize.
Thanks, Ray. Let me bring Karen into the discussion now. I understand that your team, along with Guidewire, was responsible for integrating the model into ClaimCenter. Can you please talk about that phase of the project of embedding the predictive model within ClaimCenter?
From a ClaimCenter implementation perspective, this came together pretty quickly. As you know, we worked with your team and we brought on a Guidewire developer to code the out-of-the-box framework solution within ClaimCenter. The project team also included some key business stakeholders, data scientists from Ray's team, and one of our claims system subject matter experts. We had an inception meeting to ensure everyone was clear on the goals of the project and understood the model that had been developed and its business applicability. The team had some working sessions to talk through details like the model inputs, field mappings, triggering conditions. With that, the developer got up and running with our code base. He applied the changes and was able to get a working solution in front of the business within a couple of weeks. The team used that to fine-tune the screens and the display of the information that was being returned from the model. And once they were in agreement that things looked good, we had the developer meet with our production support team. One of our developers merged the code into our regular monthly maintenance release. And that allowed us to get familiar with the code that was being introduced and ensure things were in line with our own integration standards and best practices. Testing was handled by the business, and once our maintenance release was deployed to production, it was really just a matter of importing the PA details through the admin function and checking the box to enable the integration. Looking at the timeline for the project, we kicked off with the team officially toward the end of November, and even with all the holiday time and vacation time we see toward those last few weeks of the year, we were still able to get this in with our January maintenance release, which I think is just really great turnaround time for a new integration point.
And how did you roll out the new model to business users?
So the functionality supported by this particular model is managed by a small group of business users. As a result, we were able to manage the rollout with some basic view and edit permissions tied to the new analytics screens. Amanda's group can see the model outputs on the applicable claim files. They also have a dashboard view and some search capabilities. Our support teams have additional admin access to the solution details and any potential error information. As we look at the rollout strategy for additional models, we are planning to build out a framework that will support access at a more granular level and allow us to customize the user experience by displaying the information that's most valuable to each group.
Thanks, Karen. Coming back to you, Amanda. With the new Claims Desktop Predictive Model now in production, can you please describe how things are today for you?
Sure. Now with the deployment of the Guidewire Predictive Analytics, our review process is becoming much more proficient. The model predicts if a claim is a good candidate for a desk review and adjustment, or if it exceeds that minor threshold and is more appropriately handled by a field inspection.
This is great, Amanda. This is what we call a smart core system, where the insights of data science are brought into the claims workflow, but in a way that is easily understood and thoughtfully presented back to the user. So what are the business benefits you are seeing?
Ensuring a file has an appropriate file handler from the start is inherently important to providing that high-end customer service that we promise. Complexity of claims can range greatly, as can the experience levels of our adjusters. This model is another tool in our tool belt to try to match up the claims complexity and the experience level of our adjusters. My team is really loving that immediate indicator that tells us if a claim is a good candidate for the desk review and adjustment, and we can triage that immediately instead of having to review the entire claim file. We are already working on ways to translate the insights from the model into business rules and automation, and this will help with inventory management, cycle time for the assignments, and really just getting those claims into the right hands as soon as possible.
Thanks, Amanda. Back over to you, Ray. With the home damage desktop review model now in production, I know you won't stop there. So what are your future plans?
You're right, Missy. We have plans to operationalize a number of other predictive models. We're actually currently in the midst of deploying an auto injury triage model on Guidewire Predictive Analytics as we speak. We've discussed some models on the sales and underwriting side, including a propensity to cancel model. We originally thought we would operationalize that model in PolicyCenter, but then decided it would be best consumed in Salesforce. There aren't currently accelerators available for Salesforce, but we understand those are being developed now.
This is great to hear, Ray. Hope that with Guidewire Predictive Analytics, you will be able to quickly operationalize additional use cases in ClaimCenter and PolicyCenter and beyond. Any advice you might have for other insurers in a similar situation?
We've been very happy with our ability to operationalize models that solve business problems. My advice would be to consider deployment and operationalization upfront. Understanding the business problem and having access to the right data is critical to the data science process. However, just as critical is operationalizing the model. If it sits on the shelf for months or years, it's an expense that has no value to the organization.
Thanks, Ray. It's been very beneficial to see how data-driven, real-time insights utilizing Guidewire Predictive Analytics are delivered to claims personnel directly within ClaimCenter, resulting in improved customer service and processing efficiency. And I want to give a big thanks to the Amica team for partnering with us. Not only did they attain their goal from what we heard today with this project, but we feel we became a better company by being on this journey with Amica. They raised enhancements along the way for both the Guidewire PA platform as well as on the ClaimCenter side in how results of the model are presented. And some of these enhancements have already been incorporated today. So thank you, Ray, Karen, and Amanda. And thank you all for joining us today. I hope you have found this session very informative on how clients are taking advantage of Guidewire Predictive Analytics.